How do you beat the Tughlaq Dynasty? That is the thought going through everyone's head right now. Because if they come at you with these heel elephants, you already feel like it's over. Well, that's why we invited these two players into the arena. Louis MT with the Byzantines is going to try to find a solution here on Relic River. The B. It's going to be a tricky one. If this is a healer elephant strategy, it's so difficult to unravel, and he already starts off strong. I love this. Guys, this is smart from B. He's playing Tughlaq under trees. This is already more optimized to them. Look at this. No movement to drop off. It's so effective for Tughlaq. On top of that, he's getting 5% more wood. And he's going for a dot play because he's up against a non-aggro civ. Byzantines don't attack you in the Dark Age. Often they get attacked. And this is crafty. Really, actually well played by B to identify this. So this is a huge advantage. So remember, these fishing boats are also toxic to deal with. Because Tughlaq Dynasty, similar to the parent civ, the Delhi, have fishing boats that attack you. Meaning it's much harder to go and fight them. Yeah, there are some civs that have this, such as the Delhi, but most civs you say, okay, if he's got fishing, I can burn this down before he gets archer ships in feudal. The problem is, with Tughlaq and Delhi, they essentially get mini archer ships in Dark Age. Yeah, and if you guys remember, in the opening days of Age of Empires 4, this was a hot topic on water maps back in 2021-ish, because you could just legitimately beat civs by spamming fishing boats. These days, it's been tweaked a little bit. The base damage is much lower in Dark Age, but they are perfectly accurate. Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, Louis should never really be contesting this anyway. It's very difficult for Byzantines to do because their Limitane are so expensive. So instead, it is going to be a rush towards the feudal age, and he is at least getting his own benefits. He's setting up the systems now. An overall sheep haul, decent. Yeah, he's at 11. That's at least the upside here, is because B went for the fishing, he didn't max out on worker elephants. At the moment, a lot of players like to just spam all their worker elephants they can at the start, and then send them out scouting. In this game, you see B did not do that. No, he just leverages the resources, so worker elephant out to the gold, the wood, and the deer. And remember, you have to think of Tughlaq here a little bit like Knights Templars' efficiency on wood, because they're not going to have to keep dropping lumber camps they move in. It's not perfectly one-to-one with the efficiency of Knights Templar, because Knights Templar will have no walk to drop off, they just do it, and they get some food. But comparative to other civs, this is an incredibly wood-efficient civ. Even the deer, actually. Like, what B can do here is he can just rally point between them as he goes. Like, every time he wants to switch deer, just select, move, select, move. And it's just going to guarantee that when you pick up the food off these deers, you just stand up and then stand down again. So good. And you are seeing that correctly. 5% extra resources per drop. Boom. Off we go. And this is going to be a strong strat. And you are seeing that correctly. The worker elephant waits until the resource is drained. So you can just mark it up early. Like, you can do the same here with trees early on if he wants to. When you've got 6 workers, for example, like 5 definitely, you can just select one tree at a time and just go do 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 all the way through. So Dome of Faith now on the way. B did go heavy on economy, by the way. 5 fishing boats in the end. Louis does have the Grand Winery coming through. And we'll be going all the way to level 5 system. This is just greed on greed. And that kind of fits, you know, Tughlaq, I think they have 2 reliable approaches. There is, when you're under pressure, rushing feudal and going healer elephants, which we've all seen it now. And I think we can agree it's a bit insane. But the other strategy that's very powerful is when you're in eco and eco matchups. Because of that elephant economics, because of the lean efficiency, like this civ is surprisingly effective at playing greed on greed games. I do think Byzantines, though, in a greed on greed has some really good timings. If this was a land-only map, I would be potentially worried for B. But because he got that fishing, he's already up to 7. Okay, come on. He's going 8 fishing boats. That's crazy. There's not even enough room for them to gather. Is this fast castle? No, I think this is just fast elephant. When you see that type of macro, you think it's FC, but then you remember what you can build with it. Yep, straight away. Oh, come on. This is just going to be every single Tughlaq game, isn't it? So, Limitane reaction on the way. And actually, B has given him a boon here. That is an interesting choice. He goes straight into the Raider Elephants. The reason that's a boon is it means Limitane are actually like answering everything right now. They're going to answer the Elephants of both the Raider type and the healing type. Now, the reason why B is doing Raider Elephants is because the most expected and likely mercenary choice is going to be Lombos. So this will give him an answer to those Lombos. Confirmation of Raider Elephant. Yeah, I find it's quite easy to do your job as a scout on revealing things when those things literally headbutt you. I think I noticed that. I'm pretty sure I saw an elephant. Maybe. So, first spear's out. Does get confirmation of that. And that's now going to steer into archers. And this is the theory about where Tughlaq is really ridiculous with heal elephants. Is you have to react to the heal elephants, but then they get ahead of you because you react to the heal elephants. What the flying duck is that, though? What? We've got... Well, first of all, we've got Denala Boar, which is just dirty. But we've got Keshix coming out. Okay, that I'm shocked by. What? Okay, so the reason I'm kind of shocked by that, guys, is because your issue now with healer elephants is healer elephants perform way too good in melee fights. Because in a melee fight, you just can't kill anything against healing. Because you can't target fire. Think about like this way. If we have a big fat line here, like in the choke point, maximum 3 melee units will attack another melee unit. So you're limited in your ability to kill. Going Keshix doesn't fix that for Louis. It seems instead Louis' plan is to avoid the elephant ball and just raid the economy. It's not a bad idea. And in fairness, your opponent's got archers, so you shouldn't worry too much about them when you try to counter dive. I think he got scouted. The biggest risk of this for Louis is if you don't hit with the first Keshix and they get kills, you have no scaling to your raiding because you can only build so many Keshix. That's usually the weakness of Keshik contract and why it is the rarest of all types, is of the free mercenaries. And this is the wild thing to think about. Even though it's the only cavalry unit, it's the easiest one to lose. Keshik raiding. Does scare him away. Oh, that's good chip damage, and that's going to prep him for the next dive, because there's no possible way that B can heal off the damage done to that worker. Oh. Another annoying thing. And no, Keshik contract gets you Ghulams in Castle Age. Which, against War Elephants, doesn't really do anything. Right in again. Nicely done. Louis gets one. And the idea is this snowballs. Yep, second group comes in. Good block there with the Raider Elephant. Well played. He was aware of the timing. So Louis, remember, his goal is to avoid direct fights. If he has to fight these elephants, he's going to lose. Because Keshix won't be able to keep up the heal. These health bars will just gradually go down. But raiding is where he has advantage. Because B, if he wants to raid, he needs to be fast. And war elephants are not fast, folks. They're really slow. But what he can do is turn this into a mobile healing center of like raider elephants come back, they heal, they go back in. Because raider elephants are actually harder to kill than Keshix, technically. 235 HP compared to 145. I will say this about this strategy. Like, if this is the way you're meant to beat Tughlaq, it is an unreliable strategy for probably 90% of players. But then again, I guess it scales at the level. My thought there is, like, you know, if you're being honest in chat right now, And we've probably got varying degrees of skill levels here. How many groups of knights can you reliably micro? I feel like most people will say 2, if they're being honest with themselves. Some will flex to 3. Some will just bluntly say 1. And pause that. Oh my god, he got the stampede! Wait, did he? It looked like it. There was some weird no clippage there, but he definitely did. Oh my god. Well, there you go, guys. For everyone who answered 1, this is what the Raider Elephants are for. Because this is the thing, if your solution to this is you have to raid all the locations at once, but Tughlaq only have to raid 1 location at once, who has the advantage? Louis, even with all these spearmen, just doesn't feel safe. The elephant comes in again. He already used the stampede. Oh my god. It's not a quick death, but it's going to be a guaranteed one eventually. Louis, he marched forward with the Limitana. He denied the dock. He opened the door to Tartarus with this move. B, just obligating now, trying to march in it. Healer elephants. Wait, alright, guys. When villagers can do that without fear of ever dying, you know you got a problem. Archers are going to test the Limitane. Keshiks now getting mirrored out by the Raider elephants. This is a chaotic game. And this is the other crazy thing. Like, you know, normally 1 or 2 horsemen, there's a threat of 1 or 2 worker kills. There's never a threat of 1 or 2 horsemen killing 10 workers. But with this stampede, that can happen. The trample ability, if you math it out, the maximum damage you can do off of just walking over a target is 48 damage. Villager has 50 health. Yeah, and Louis, he didn't get textiles either. It's that. Oh my god. I think this is the tough part. It's not instant death against Raider elephants, but it feels inevitable. Like, you have to play the game out. You have to drag it a bit deeper and hope. But as you drag it deeper, like, all it takes is you sneezing while playing the game, your eyes closing for 2 seconds, and then all of a sudden, 5 workers are dead. Keshiks? Uh-oh. Is B ready to go? He feels it. His economy isn't truly ahead. It's 42 workers to 43. Louis actually found more worker kills. The fishing boats down here are not active. Yeah, they're dead weight. Louis does creep the villagers away while he can. And we do have a horseman switch now. Not just that, Keshiks again, into the base. Not able to connect for the kills, though. The textiles making it difficult. Textiles is also a really nice tech for Tughlaq, because you only spend 5 seconds researching instead of 20. And yes, it does cost a little bit more, but that gets balanced out by the fact that you sacrifice less workers to get it. So really smart read there. So I feel like a lot of people will look at the cost of textiles and say, nah, 20% more, no chance. Okay, Louis is pulling the Keshiks home now. It's because the war elephants, the healer elephants rather, are in his face. So he needs all hands on deck for the defense. Oh, wait a sec. That's a good start, though. He catches the reinforcing elephant. Reminder, they cannot heal themselves, because that would be broken. Well, I don't know what the worker... Oh, I see. B was going to try to body block them and switch aggro. Cool idea. Army's coming home, but Louis already has position on him here. He's going to steer away instead, though. We don't have any forts at all. B doesn't have any strong point defense. Louis, I'm starting to feel like he's survived it. Curious Siphon's now on the way. Keshik's raiding again. The entire army reacting, but he just can't catch them. I say that. You can headbutt them down a bit because they're charging. But Louis just trying to raid him to death. Keshik's in again. Oh, come on. 1 HP. Don't do this to me. The true worker lead. It does feel like it's getting bigger, though. Yeah, it's 47 workers to 49. And remember, Louis does have system buff at level 5, so he's ahead. Now, we do at least have woven baskets, so B's getting 10% more resource on drop-off. If you can just get the direct fight, like, this is kind of crazy, though. 15 Raider Elephants, 34 Archers. How would Louis win this? We're going to find out, because he's not getting away with this. The Limitane are too slow. B, would he dare commit them into them fully? I think that's a bit too risky. He's trying to bait him to turn around. He just keeps stampeding with one to see if he can get a freebie. Limitane are going to turn. Shield wall's up, though. Cavalry looks for the entry. Raider Elephant's going to pull back for the body block. The Horsemen, they can't quite get in. And now the Archers essentially frontlining part of the fight. It's a full commit and send. B, Healer Elephants in the middle of it all. They're going to be brought down. One dead, one to go. Raider Elephant count not holding on. B has to pull back. The Horseman wave is just so big from Louis. Raider Elephants recommit. The slowdown Limitane. He didn't toggle the shield wall off. Uh-oh. Archers, if they can get the clear up here on the spears, the Raider Elephants can actually carry this now. B, his Archer count is going low, though. The Limitane count is still looking good. 13 in the fight. The Raider Elephants, they're holding on for now. Can he beat the Spearman? It looks like he's gonna. B just needs to get the new wave here. 8 Raider Elephants left, 8 Spearmen. Enough Archers left to target fire them down, but Louis with the micro to the back. He goes straight after the remaining Archers. And the Elephant screams, tell you everything you need. He's done it. Louis, he breaks the backbone of the formation. A handful of Raider Elephants left alive. Shivs out now from the workers. B begins to hemorrhage villagers that he needs to have gathering food. Louis MT does the unthinkable. He breaks the Healer Elephants. I mean, it wasn't mass elephants, but it did look like a massive big brain strat from B. Unraveled completely. GG comes through. The Tughlaq Elephant Boys are not unbeatable.